You are playing the Punisher,
Yes,
and people, as you can see, and it's funny because it's a role that people have experimented with before, but it never seemed to quite gel, and it's a lot of responsibility when you take on, people really love the Punisher.
I think so.
There's a lot of fans of the Punisher, and then you take on this role. And in this comics universe, fans take that really seriously. Like, don't screw this up. Don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I've said before, it's a character that's resonated deeply with members of law enforcement and the military, and that's something I take super seriously, along with the comic book fans. And I'll tell you, as far as the comic book fans are concerned, one of the sort of true pleasures for me in this was the research and going all over the country, going from comic book store to comic book store, and just eating up as much of this as I possibly could.
Would their heads explode if you walk into a comic book store and these are people that some of them, like the Punisher's their favorite character, and they know that you're going to play the Punisher, and then Jon Bernthal walks in? What's it like?
Well, it completely depends on where you are, because I'll tell you, I remember right after it sort of became, when they announced that I was going to be playing the part, I went to a comic book store in Ventura, and there's a guy, he's smoking a cigarette. There was no one in the store. He was sitting outside. And he's like, "Can I help you?" And he didn't even look up. And I said, "Yeah, man, I'm just looking for some Punisher comics, And he's like, "Yeah, we don't have much since the announcement." I'm like, "Announcement?" I'm like, that's me. That's my announcement. Yeah. I'm like, "Wow, that's cool." And so then I'm like, do I be like a total douche and go over to the guy and be like, "Yeah, actually, I'm the guy that," And I'm just like, so I just say, "Hey, man, if you could." And then he looked up and he said, "Whoa, it's you." And he was so cool and he was so helpful. And he said, "You need to read this, this, and this." And he gave it to me for free. And it was just so cool. But then I went to New York.
Yeah.
I go into a comic book store in Brooklyn, and I go in, and I get a whole stack, and I go up to buy them, and he looks at me and goes, "Yeah, I know who you are." I go, "Okay, cool, man. I just want to buy these comics." He goes, "No, you don't. You're not taking this. You're not taking this. You're not taking this. You need to read this, 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 and this." And I was like, "Okay, dude." And he's like, "Do not mess this up." I'm like, "Got it, man. Got it."
Did you get them for free?
No, man. No, not at all, man. Not 100%.
You're going to pay extra for those.
You know what I mean?
And it's pronounced Punisher. Everyone gets it wrong.